following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbb-radio.com.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
Welcome back. I'm Ariana.
and I am Brittany.
And this is an A&B Conversation.
Conversation.
Woohoo! Another week.
Another week.
Another week in the books. Another week beating the statistic.
Right.
What do you know?
Are we like half a year? Wait, how many weeks? is a year?
52, so no.
Almost.
So close. So close.
Almost.
And this week we have a special friend. Round of applause. Woo!
You may have heard his voice.
Yeah.
You may have not seen his face, but this is
Rich Almighty.
Hello.
Woohoo!
Rich has won. What was it?
Best Person Award.
Yeah,
It's hanging on the fridge out in the hall.
Yeah.
It's a little fridge, but you know,
But a big award.
I was
big
just
award
gonna
for
say
a little
that.
fridge. So, no, thanks for having me coming
Yeah.
on. This is fun.
I hope you
Stressed
think
for
so
like
after.
The whole week I had to find clothes that weren't just jeans and a t-shirt.
You should have wore them jeans.
I know.
No, I had to like step up a little bit, a little bit. I don't want to drag it too much, but I felt I should, do something.
Right. You look
I mean,
good. You
you're-
look good.
You look like Rich Almighty.
Yeah.
Right.
thanks. don't know
I feel like we
that-
never explained his nickname. Rich's name is not really Rich Almighty. We just said we call him Rich Almighty because he's the man behind the camera with the voice. So,
Right.
but he's now the
I
man
like that.
on
And
camera.
I've never really had a lot of nicknames.
Rich Almighty.
So I got a
Your
nickname
contact
up
in my
there.
phone is Rich Almighty
That's
too.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Rich
funny.
Almighty.
One
Yeah.
thing about Ari, she's gonna make a nickname.
I make a nickname for everybody. Yeah.
That's cool, actually.
Everybody, everything. Her
Anything.
car, or everything.
Yeah. Everything has a
Everything has a
nickname.
name.
That's pretty
If
funny.
not, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Nico, we're still working on it, okay? We'll get there.
Yeah, Nico's filling in. Nico's one of our podcasters. He goes right into his
Yes.
production, his podcast right after yours.
Yep.
Yes.
And he's obviously got a nice background in this stuff, so he's
Yeah.
filling in for me.
We're
today.
gonna actually.
Thank
I'll
you
put
so
Nico's YouTube link in the description too. So shout out to you, Nico. Thank you. Thank
for
you.
making this happen.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So, Rich, are we your favorite podcast? Yes
I
or no?
have to say yes because I'm.
Yes.
They kind of hit me with that in the parking lot
Off the
last
bat.
week. Everybody's I'm a retired teacher. Like,
Yeah.
you're all great. You're all just perfect. Except that one
Closes
kid.
the door.
Right.
There's always that one kid I never liked. I never said it to him, but
Right.
just don't be that kid.
Close
Do you have one of? You don't have to say who, but do you have a that kid?
No, to be honest, everybody, I do truly mean this, that everybody that we work with at Emerge is great. Like, everybody has their own what they want, and I they're everybody's supportive and lets me work it out for them.
Yeah.
Everybody's super flexible. They let me. They're great. I mean, we haven't. And everybody's challenged me, which is fun too. Like, you guys challenged me to come up with a look
Yeah.
that together, this collaboration, and give you the look that you wanted,
The
so that
set.
because I want you to be happy when you're here. So that's kind of what's fun about it. There's a few people that have come in the door, and you just kind of knew it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
So I just kind of didn't let that relationship start, so to speak.
Right. That's good. You didn't waste your time or energy, especially because
Yeah.
we need it.
Yeah, I mean,
Dibs.
and I learn a lot sitting over there. I mean, it's funny being a producer of like podcasts. As much as I listen to all these podcasts how much I've actually learned.
Yeah.
From different things, from different, even like fantasy football, but even just stuff from like a younger, like listening. Because normally I wouldn't probably listen to like a
girl's
woman's
podcast. Yeah. If I was
So
talking
listening-
about girl math. Yeah.
Like, but I laugh. Like, most people probably know me as the guy laughing like off camera because I do truly find it. And sometimes it's very thought provoking too. Like, sometimes I really like when you guys are done and we talk for 3-4 minutes.
We
about-
do.
That's
usually.
my favorite part. That
You know.
might be my favorite part.
Yeah.
I love to hear like your opinions on like the things that we talk about, because a lot of things like are
Us just going.
yeah, very much, and just out of the blue, and
And they're
just things-
thought provoking.
yeah.
Like last week you did mental health, and it
Yeah.
really made me think about my own mental health and how that is it is a journey for me. And as I've told you, and most people know that I've been through some things. And and it's nice to know, like, because with mental health, it's almost like you you do think you're on that island by yourself.
100%.
So hearing other people talk about it, whether it's just the average guy in the store or
Right.
someone you meet or a celebrity, it's just nice to know that you're not alone out there. It makes it a little bit easier to, it's just a bad day, like type of thing, or get some help. So no, this is fun.
This is fun.
So-
Thanks for coming on, Rich.
Yes.
My wife is very nervous. Shout out Maria.
We're not.
What are they going to ask you? I said, I don't know. I don't know any of the questions.
We're
or
gonna
any
truth
of the
or shot
topics
it with
that are-
Rich and just have him get ripped up on here.
That's what I should have got, a bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
It would have helped.
No.
It would have helped. Not that I need drinks to talk, but I
No.
mean, probably. So no, I'm excited about
Right.
this.
Which episode of ours was the most shocking or surprising, or did you learn the most from?
Oh, that's a really tough question.
Because I know our bedroom stories, it was like you just.
We didn't
That
talk
one-
after that episode.
That one, I just like. I gotta go. I gotta go over here. I like the truth or shot ones
Yeah.
the most. Because it's like you either answer or you don't answer. And I've learned a lot about you by listening and with your answers or non-answers. Because your non-answers speak more than your actual answers.
Right.
I mean, I love the McDonald's in the middle of the night story when
Oh,
you should have been
yeah.
arrested. And,
Our
I like
arrest-
that stuff, and I really like like hearing about your relationship with your family, and so I feel like I know you,
Yeah,
and
for
hopefully
sure.
your audience they have a sense of who you are, and you as a mom, and
Yeah.
you as a
Me
big
as a
sister,
wild girl.
and all that stuff, and So no, it's definitely. I think those two episodes were my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. How do you feel about the development of not just our podcast, but like Emerge and all the other podcasts?
Well, I'll say that I thought I had it all figured out.
Yeah.
And you get here, and because I did it for all those years, cable access video production for so many years at Niagara Falls High School before I retired, and then you come in here and you're like, well, I know how to do this, and then you realize it's everything is different. I mean, there's some basics, how to turn on a camera and how to
Right.
edit, but in terms of just all the little things that Nico and some of the early podcasters that were those first people in the door, like how to do lighting and how to create a vibe, like that has been the most fun. Like the room next door, which we call the OG room.
Ours is
that
the
room-
bougie room for the
Yours is
people
the
who
bougie
don't
room because
know.
you got the fancy
Shocker.
but like definitely learning like, oh, this doesn't really work the way it could.
Yeah.
So the facility has developed amazingly based on the needs in terms of even like hopefully the audience notices like how much better the cameras are now in the
Right.
last 3-4 episodes since we've been using these new
Yeah.
ones. Because they're more in line for the content that you're creating. But watching people develop their podcast is a lot of fun. From that, hi, I'm Mike, and he's in his chair and he's spinning in his
Swiveling.
spinning chair, and Nico is like he doesn't know where to look, and now they're real. Then they have guests,
They have their
and
flow.
then there's bits and there's videos and there's more graphics and there's games and they're better. They know how to interview their guests and a lot of the podcasts now, especially the sports ones, are finding like these really cool guests from other cities.
Yeah.
So they've got a relationship with a podcast in Detroit, and then like Tank's got a relationship with a guy a couple places like Houston. He had a guy in Houston the other night. So it's really fun that and everybody's really supportive to each other. So podcastings are really kind of neat supporting, a nice like self-supporting, like people aren't super.
little
I'm sure there's a
family,
lot of
right.
jerks that are competitive, but
Yeah.
we haven't met them yet. So far,
No.
everybody's. So it is fun to see everybody's development.
Right,
Like,
and I
getting
feel like
better.
everybody's podcast, like through Emerge, is so different. Like
100%.
not one is the same
No.
as the other one, which is really
Oh, that's
cool.
good because I don't want it to be cookie cutter.
No.
Right.
We are going to beat out Barstool, and you are Dave Portnoy.
That would be great.
One
would be
day, and
great.
we are going to stay the OG. Do you have another girl podcast right now? No, right?
I have a corporate one that's hosted by a woman.
Yeah.
But that's it. And I want
No, you're not welcome, new
but I
girls.
want-
No,
Well, I don't want you guys fighting in the parking lot because I don't want any of that girl drama.
I'll say the McDonald's scene all over again.
But I want
Got to keep
like
growing.
lots of different kinds of podcasts.
Yeah.
And the thing that I also too, it's not just podcasts, and you guys get this. It's about media. It's really about content creation
100%.
now. Like, so we're making TikTok. Not me, because old guys making TikTok looks stupid. But I think creating content is really what we're about. Whether it's photography,
100%.
just different kinds of videos, and not everything should be a 90 or a 45-minute podcast. It should be like a
snippet of
3-minute
something.
reel or whatever it is. And I love that creativity that everybody's getting into.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. So. You know?
Yes, I love that.
Is there any content you don't like creating? Like, could we do an OnlyFans in here, Rich?
Say that again?
Could we? We're gonna get an OnlyFans rockin'. Maria would die.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that anyone's. I wouldn't want to do anything. You know what? There's one I don't want to do. I don't want to do religious.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't.
Sitting
I do
through a-
political before
yeah.
I would do religious.
Yeah.
I'm getting in. I have a friend from high school that lives down south someplace, and he's starting. I've been consulting with him, and he's starting a political one. And I'm going to probably either produce it remotely or occasionally be like a co-host. And I don't mind. I don't care about political one. I'll do political ones, but I don't want to do religious ones.
Yeah.
I'm just not my thing.
Has there been any podcast that you thought, like, or moments that you thought would either go extremely viral and or get canceled, get people canceled for? I know I had my moment.
Well, you had a moment.
I had a moment.
And I'm literally in Chicago, and I'm editing it with my. Luckily, I brought my computer, and I edited for you in Chicago.
Yeah.
Which was fine. I don't care doing that. I like doing
Yeah.
that stuff. But
Thank God you didn't let me
that
get
one,
canceled.
no, I mean, I don't think you would have got in trouble for that. But you weren't comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had one with one of our sports podcasts that was kind of never aired.
Oh, that.
You know, Nico can talk about that one off camera. But that's about it. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing like. I mean, when my son Christian and I, we do our podcast, and our running joke is like how early one of us can drop the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we do ours, like sometimes it's within 2 minutes. Like, you know, we really we both like to go off on these rants and, you know, soapboxes, so to speak, about stuff that we talk about.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Nothing you were really like concerned about or like, ugh.
There's a couple things I don't like. There's a couple things in like even on the goofy sci-fi stuff that I don't want to like. I just told the guys on the one podcast, like, be honest and don't like try to build like some fake online video persona because first of all, you're not talented enough
phony.
to maintain that, and everybody's going to just think you're phony. Just be yourself, and if they don't like it, don't watch.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, read your
But somebody
comments, and
will.
if you agree with anything, or if you know, be open to receiving comments.
I
You
love
know.
getting trolled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the best.
With like your experience with like media and stuff like that, did you think like this was gonna happen? Like, did you feel like
A merge would be this big.
No. I thought my company that I own with my family, I thought we would be doing a lot of other things like video installations and stuff, and that really, I like doing that. But
Yeah.
I don't want to do that as much as I thought I would. And now that I've been doing this, and we just keep growing, this is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
I was having a bad day yesterday. Like I got up, like I screwed up something for a project, and then I ran out of gas. I had to call my son to come get me gas, which is like, that's embarrassing as a
Right,
dad
yeah,
to run out of gas.
Yeah.
That's something your kids do, not the dad. And then I'm like, now all grumpy. And then the podcast, the guys Trap Nerd came in the afternoon, and they just make me laugh. And I was like, all right, well,
I almost had a canceled moment. I ate that canceled moment.
So I mean, I'll be honest. Like I do. Like I think like I do. I love it. You know?
Yeah.
I look forward to all the podcasts I do. Wednesday's a fun day for me. I do. Yours is so different than everybody. I do enjoy. I look forward to
you
yours
needed the girl perspective.
because it's also. Yeah, and it's also yours is like your topics vary.
Yeah.
Where with a football one or a sports one, you kind of have to do
Keep on
fantasy, and there's things that we do every week, just because we have to and
Right.
stuff like. But I like the Star Wars one a lot because we did a lot of reaction videos,
Yeah.
and those were exciting because I actually didn't just produce those. I actually got to sit on the set with the 4 guys, and we were all reacting to Star Wars at the same time, and that was a lot of fun
Yeah,
too. Like I was
real
looking forward
reactions.
to Tuesday nights a lot.
Yeah.
But and originally it was a lot of like former students and stuff, people that had relationship with me prior to Emerge. But now it's like
So
that's a
much more.
minority of what
Yeah.
I do. Everybody is, I didn't know you guys, obviously.
No.
So that's really, or there'd be, I kind of remember them from school, but like I didn't know them.
Shout out to Maria.
Yeah, Maria
She was the
Maria's
recruit.
Employee of the month.
Yeah.
My wife.
Shout out to our Madam
she's
President.
got a lot of months. If she was Employee of the Month 10 times. That's why we've been married. I have a successful marriage because my wife is always Employee of the Month. But not. We're gonna be announcing our new. We changed it from employee to month to employee/podcaster of the month. So I have to announce a new podcast for this month.
Can you imagine if I don't win that? Down. What's going to happen?
Put her pictures down.
Start forking shit
there.
around
You'll
here.
Just keep working.
You're so close. That's hysterical. Is there ever been a time for you where you were just like, get me the fuck out of here? Like, I'm sick of this fucking podcast when you were producing?
Sometimes they're long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and sometimes I kind of like, why did we go so long?
Yeah.
And I don't like, there's times just you're tired and you want to go home. That's the real world.
For everything.
But it's more on my end. It's like, I think you guys just went too long today.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to have like a guest, then you don't want to let's do the guest and then do everything that we normally do. That's to me, it's too long. So sometimes the podcast I feel like drag on, and I think that's the biggest thing as a podcaster that you have to know. You have to know when enough is enough, and you're just kind of rambling now.
Right. How long's the longest podcast?
I was just gonna ask, what's
the longest one we've done?
Yeah.
I think we did one which was 2 hours.
Holy fuck.
And that was way too long.
Talking for 2 hours is crazy.
And there was a lot of things that happened on it, but I just felt like some of it could have been eliminated.
Right.
To me, the sweet spot for something like what you do is kind of where you guys are, like 45 minutes. I think up to about 90 minutes to me is good. I think after that, you're just no one's around at the end.
No.
Right. I mean, you're almost not there at the end.
Right.
Yeah. It's been so, like, what were we talking
just
about?
Just staring off. Yeah. The rants go so far.
Walk off.
Mic drop.
So do a couple. It's like, I kind of joke about it. It's kind of like when you go to an amusement park. Like, don't go on every ride in the first day.
Yeah, don't hit it so hard and then that's it.
We don't need to go on every roller coaster. 3's enough. You don't need to go on 9. So it's kind of the same thing.
Is there anything you're like looking forward to with Emerge? Like, I mean, I know like it brings you joy, but like what more things are going to bring you joy through Emerge?
If it continues, the one thing that I will say is that when this concept started, it was very simple, and my son Christian was heavily involved in designing this.
Yeah.
And the terminology that he came up with, because we're very lucky that we have a wonderful building that we rent. But at some point, we do talk about a forever space.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be doing this for the rest of my life, and I don't know if podcasting will be around in 10 years or what our social media content will be like in 10 years. So who knows what type of, I do think we'll always need space to do these kinds of things. But I would love someday I would like to have maybe more spaces so I don't have to move everything around every day. And then you guys just come in and you sit down in your corner, the space is done, and it's maybe a little bit bigger. And, Nico and I joked about we'd love to have a podcast set that has like a bar. And the 100%. Co-host is like a bartender.
I would fucking love that.
From like what
or
is
just
that?
putting
like,
someone on the spot.
Live.
Yes,
like, that's kind of what we kind of ripped
Andy
that
Cohen.
off, like the Andy Cohen one. And we were joking about trying to find a bar where we could do that in. But I think I just want to keep building like bigger and better, more creative spaces.
Ideas, right.
Like it's cool when we see comments on on one of the podcasts where someone new that's maybe just found them somehow and they're like, wow, that's. The production quality is really good. Like that makes me feel really good because that's my wheelhouse.
Right? Yeah, it's you.
But I think you guys can see like the amount of stuff that we've upgraded just 100%. in the whatever. What are we at? 20-something episodes?
Yeah, 22. I think this week.
I mean, that's
22 or 23.
It's changed a lot. If you go back and watch your first episode, not just how much you guys hit the ground running really well compared to a lot of podcasts, but. So you didn't have to go as far to grow in terms of hosts.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of the production quality, like because we've been able to upgrade cameras and stuff like that.
And even before that, that's one of the things that a lot of people have said. It's like, wow, the quality. I mean, people just assume like when you're starting a podcast and you're first podcasting and stuff like that, they just assume you're going to be in this weird ass room with these weird ass cameras.
And I feel like everyone thinks we're going to wear like big ass headsets and like ASMR.
But I'll admit, we started with that. We started without you wear a headset and then you're like talk. And and we kind of realized like, well, if I'm doing the producing, and I'm monitoring the audio. Why do they need to monitor the audio?
Right,
So, like,
yeah.
Get rid of the headset. So
Yeah.
we got rid of the headsets unless we're doing a call, like a Zoom call where someone's calling
Right.
in from somewhere, then they have to because otherwise you get feedback. But in general, we've tried to like just you don't have to worry about that stuff. That's why you have a producer. And again, like you said, you're not in your basement and you're not just you're talking around like a snowball. with a
Right,
microphone,
yeah.
and you got a camera that's like 40. I laugh because I look at everything that's wrong, and I even like I watch a lot of news, and I laugh at the people that are still like Zoom calling in on MSNBC or something, and I don't know where they are. They're like in their garage, and there's like dogs barking, and like the lighting's bad. Like these people are professionals on like a major news channel, and
that's how they call
they're
in.
using the laptop mic.
They said, fuck it.
And I'm like I wouldn't if I would stop hiring that guy.
Yeah, don't bring his ass back here.
You gotta step
Sucks.
up his game.
Yeah,
you gotta wear a pair of
sucks.
pants to the thing. You know, don't
like
have
when
a
everyone-
distracting background too. You know, like
Right.
a weird shit in the background.
No, right.
Like
What was that
beach
one video, that
decals.
baby, like,
The
that
little
kept
kid
running
ran into the
and
room, and the
screaming?
nanny was like pulling her out, and then the nanny like flopped on the floor trying to get the kid out. That was like BBC News.
I just want everybody to make a little bit of money doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be nice if somebody blew up because that would be amazing. But
Us.
if people were just making money, just so they could, if you can make money, even if it's just like so you can pay for an extra trip to.
Turks and Caicos with
Turks
Drake.
and Caicos with Drake. Now you're pushing it a little bit.
Boy.
Drake likes to go to the Galleria Mall. I heard.
Yeah.
I know a little bit what's still happening in the universe.
He's still with it.
No, but I mean, like even just having that little extra money to
Yeah.
go on a vacation, or redo your driveway or something stupid that you need. But so you're not
Adulting.
like you're making some money off of it. So it's not just it's a hobby, but it's also something
It's
that
beneficial.
it's beneficial, not just maybe from your psyche or whatever, but also that make a little bit of money on the side doing it, and you get some sponsorships, and you're meeting people, and you're traveling and stuff. I think that's exciting for me too. That would be. I'd love to see people start to get to that.
I would love to see us like on the road. Like, let's take this shit to Malibu.
That seems.
Let's
to be
go to
like a big
Turks and
deal.
Caicos with Drake, and let's do the pod on the beach.
Just call him.
Yeah, like Lil Yachty and Drake did.
Yeah.
So.
They did that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, the Star Wars ones were like, if we make enough money, we'll go to Disney World and we'll go to Star Wars because that would be great
book out
content.
Disney.
No, honestly.
That would be really,
100%.
really good
Right,
content.
I mean,
So,
right.
but I go, we got to make some money before we do that.
Right.
I'm up for a trip anytime,
Literally.
anywhere.
Same.
Aries
I
I
was just gonna say, Rich is an Aries,
There's nothing
everyone.
better than going to the airport.
I love we sleep so good on planes.
Oh my
What?
God.
Like, you give us fucking ketamine. We're like,
no,
oh.
literally,
Like,
I don't wake up earlier than when it's time to go to the airport.
yeah, with a good mood. Like, you have good energy when you're going to the airport. Like,
Going to the airport and just like you're getting away from everything. You're literally getting, because you get a vacation and sometimes you just stay home and then you end up like doing the laundry. Or,
right.
you don't do shit.
like,
You
it's
just
not
sit
a
there
it's not
in your
really a
crusty
vacation,
comfies, and we're just.
But being away and you don't think about things
Yeah.
that you have to do, like so, like, and I think that and obviously for you guys, like Nick, you got to plan that trip so you can just turn it into a work expense and make good content.
I just got my TSA pre-check too, which I'm so surprised they even
that's
fucking
cool.
approved me. But look at now, we got to go on a trip. We got to take this shit on the road
There you go.
just so we can,
That's cool. That's a good idea.
share the. Oh my god,
Especially
I would
'cause-
love for us all inclusive. Like, let's all of
Was
them
it
merge.
Houston?
Yeah.
So I know you like Houston.
yeah. Think shit gets real in Houston.
Would you ever do like a live episode?
Of what?
They have like live, like a lot of podcasts. They like
Most
go
of our podcasts, actually,
like,
most
not
of
go live,
Like
but,
in
with a
person
live
audience. Yeah.
Obviously, we've had a couple of people come and watch it, but which was ironic. The one that we didn't get to air, there was actually girlfriends there, and it was like it was
yeah.
bad,
Right.
and it was bad. No, I thought about the studio audience. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of fun, but like most, I don't know. I think. That
See, that's
doesn't
like a
interest me.
dream of
That's
mine.
a whole nother. That's like a whole
Selling
nother
tickets
level
and
of,
growing.
Yeah.
But then you'd have you would be so like like you're just so.
And you would need obviously like, and again I would need my
100%.
forever space for that. I would be able to have a room that, because I would, the one part, because you kind of asked that question, I would like to get in, this is one where you would want the live audience, is I would like to have one that was music-based, and it's just musicians talking about music, and they bring in different types of musicians, and then they just play.
Yeah.
Because I love that. I love when musicians just start, like...
Going naturally.
They're just like, oh, yeah, and then they it's amazing, they start playing a song, and they all know it. I'm like, how do they all know that song? And they can play it.
Right, yeah.
And then they jump right in, and I love, and I think something like that would, if I could get to that, like find the right people that could do like a music-based podcast, because I think that would be a lot of fun.
It's like Tiny Table meets podcasting.
Literally.
And that one you'd need the bar, and you need the, you need the table.
You got to do a drink for sure.
So,
yeah.
Definitely.
We don't do much here sober. This podcast isn't.
We do more than
we anticipated.
Yeah. We did birthday drinks, and I don't know, it went right. I don't know what Nico made that night, but he made like a birthday shot for Mike, and I was drunk. I sat here for half an hour. Drank some water because I was hitting the wrong buttons on the thing. I didn't know what I was doing. It went right to my head.
Would you do a truth or shot with us, Rich?
I would do a truth or shot with you.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of shots.
Because our questions are going to be like, all right, Rich, who fucking sucks the most?
All right, I was going to bring some tequila. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not even a big shot guy, but I would just like... Well,
you got to participate.
I have 2 shots. I might as well do shots. I'm not a big shot guy, but I am in certain situations, like when I had my retirement party, and when I turned 50.
Yeah.
Like I just knew that everybody was going to want to buy me shots, and so you go into that knowing that you just kind of like just don't have.
Is that a mature thing? Like, is that an adulting thing? Like, you just get mature and you don't do shots, or were you just never a shot guy?
I think it just like it depended on
the scenarios.
It depended on the crowd. You guys have definitely talked about this, how you have different people that you were friends with. Sometimes you have those work friends and you hang out with them a lot, and then sometimes you have like kind of your old school friends. And I just felt like there was different crowds, different vibes with different crowds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like when, you got to go to work the next day or there's something like, so that I'm just.
It's never, Rich, we can't relate. It's never, we've been shot girls and it's never stopped us.
Being a teacher, it was kind of like.
It's dreadful hearing all the kids' noises and being hungover and
so you didn't really drink a lot in the middle of the week. I mean, there were certainly teachers I know that did that, and you probably knew some of them too. But but I always had a coach on Saturday too. So, So usually Saturday night, even like for most of my teaching career, would be the night if I was gonna really go out.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Right. Drink the drinks. The drinks were drank.
Don't let them drinks drink you.
Yeah. Would you ever do a podcast with Maria?
She would never be on a podcast.
No.
Does she hate that?
She just is not.
She's so monotone too.
She just doesn't want to be in front of a camera. She doesn't want to see videos of herself. We've never watched our wedding video.
Shut up! Yeah. Oh, come on! Let's get a reaction video of you guys watching that. Come on!
Well, the funny thing about it was some of it's emotional because my buddy did the video. He was in the wedding, and it took him because this is my friend. Took him forever to edit the darn thing. So then, by the time that the video got to us, her dad had passed. So then nobody really wanted to watch it.
Yeah, it's too sensitive.
It was a little emotionally hard, and then we just don't really want to see ourselves on. She doesn't want to see herself on camera, but somehow I talked her into doing a cable. We were on an HGTV TV show where we decorated our house with 2 other families in DeVoe. I think Christian and Zach were in elementary school, probably like 3rd and 5th grade. I don't know how I got her, and that's why. And I will say like that just to my wife out there. She's the greatest wife in the world for me because she knows who I am. And she's willing to do this ridiculous things because she knew it was going to be exciting for me.
Yeah.
So she sacrificed her anxiety and all that crap
to deal with
this because she knew that I really wanted to do it and she didn't want to say no to me. And even this, she's just sometimes I feel guilty that I have to come and she's at home and she's like, just go.
Yeah.
Right,
just go.
She probably wants a house. She's like, go.
She's
give me space.
She also likes when I'm not there too. She likes when everybody's out of the house.
Yeah.
She likes that quiet time with the dog. But no, she definitely is just go on, go on.
Super supportive.
No, you're happy doing that.
Yeah.
And if you can find that person, go for it. I'm lucky.
We still have yet to find that person.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, I was older.
Nope.
We were older when we met though too.
Oh, really? How old?
late. I mean, we started dating when I started teaching, and I was 25.
Well, we're past
26.
that, so we're doomed.
But then
There's
we
no
didn't get-
hope.
But we didn't get married until late 20s. So, but compared to our generation, everybody was married like at 23 in my generation and divorced by 29. Like, we were getting married and our friends were getting their first divorce. Like,
Their first.
So we were a little bit later. We'd met later, and then we both kind of wanted to establish our careers a little bit. And she was getting started, and she would have gone back to school, and so then we got married a little bit later compared to a lot of our friends.
Yeah.
But
right.
that helped us, I think, just kind of like, because we were kind of out of party mode by that point anyway.
Vibes in this bitch.
You guys would have enjoyed hanging out with Maria in the club back in the day.
Oh,
Maria,
yeah.
Maria's got a lot better stories going out than me. Like, my stories are like, yeah, we went out and we had some chicken wings, and like, Maria's like, we went over here and we went over there, and then we stole a car. Like, she didn't steal a car, but there was a lot of like, they
statute
snuck out of the
limitations.
house,
It's up now,
and they did that. And I'm like, what? You guys like? I never like, I never have. I don't have those like, oh, you were just bad at Maria and her cousins and her friends and everybody. Like, they did some fun stuff.
Yeah,
they had a lot of
really
fun.
We live it up.
Guys really think like we just go out and we find guys and like we just do things with guys all night. No,
we're being
really,
menaces to society. We are sheer
I learned that at
fucking
an early age.
demons.
Like, if you see a group of girls, they do not go up and try to like, this is my chair, I'm gonna go. Like, no, just leave them alone, because
Fuck off.
if they want to have a
We will
conversation with you,
stare at you and make it abundantly clear.
Yes. If you're
Just
staring
stare
at
at you.
like creepo, there's a creepo guy over there. Just don't go into that. No, because you can tell when I even to this day remember like there'd be like a crowd of girls and like they were out doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they were being silly and they were having fun within the context. They just happened to be together in a bar with like 100 other people.
Yeah.
But they were completely uninterested in all your silliness. They had their own stuff to do.
Right.
Cheers to that. Cheers to having your own stuff to do.
I get to see
Do
occasionally
it.
a few clips of you guys doing things or a couple pictures. And
Oh, man. Like Labor Day, we were supposed to have so many, we were going to have so many TikToks and just like so much content. And
life got in the way.
Yeah, very much.
something got in the way, so that's for damn sure. Tequila.
It's definitely life.
Yeah. Alcohol got in the way of us creating more content. Speaking of which, what do you think we could be doing to push and grow our content and our podcast and the brand?
I think a little bit more of, doing more just content creation like TikToks, more stuff of you guys
Doing
like,
stuff.
like
Outside of
women
this.
on the street,
Yeah.
like you get,
Oh my God,
stuff
that would be
going,
hilarious.
doing those kinds of things, going on a vacation, going
Yeah.
on a trip, going someplace that you don't go.
Yeah.
I think people if they like your vibe, they want to see you like
As much as
snowboarding
possible.
or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think those kinds of
connected to you,
I
like
think those are the
celebrities.
things that I would like.
Yeah.
I think I would say like, what are the what are they like when they're not sitting with the pink curtains? What is it? What are they like? Can we see them?
Out.
'cause I want to see them out, but also just, and I think like,
In
because
life.
I like that stuff. I
Yeah.
like that stuff, and I think that builds your brand. And I think that's what I'm trying to, again, I keep pushing all the content. Like, let's not just make it about the podcast. What other content can you create?
Right. Who are you?
And little stupid contests.
Stay
and
tuned for
stuff.
me and Brittany's vlog channel.
There you go.
Yeah, edited by Rich. Shout out to Rich. Shout out to Rich. That should
And
be
that
fucking
stuff's fun to edit too.
spotchy.
Like, it is fun. Like, I think that stuff's fun because you had to kind of find like
The gist of it,
those
a
things
flow.
and all. And this was great. And like there's things that I enjoy that stuff. And I think a lot of us want to watch that, like, that 5-minute video.
Yeah.
Maybe or sometimes a little bit less or whatever, just of some things. And I don't know, like the kind of little games and stuff. I think like doing some games and stuff would be kind of fun.
That's one of the things we have on our to-do list is to create our own
But
card game.
but your podcast's different every week anyway. Like, you do different things.
Much as we can.
Right. We really try to, but also stay within
Our realm.
who we
Stay
are.
in our lane. I fucking hate, like you said, it's like people like trying to put on a persona or be phony. Like,
Because imagine us doing a football podcast.
I could do it. I'd do
I
all
thought-
the ones
I
I want to
thought
hook up
the
with.
girl math-
He's so fine.
I thought girl
Seen
math
his dick
was
swing
good.
there. Loved him here.
What did you say?
I thought the girl math one was hilarious because I was over there like, I don't think that's just That sounds like rich math.
Rich almighty math as well.
That's how I do math.
What's your favorite girl math?
What's rich math?
Well, the cash is not.
Doesn't
cash
count.
Is free.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, you don't.
If you have cash in your wallet and you spend it,
it doesn't count. It's not in your bank account.
No one knew you had it.
Yes.
You didn't know you had it sometimes.
Oh my
Brittany,
God, yeah.
she's cash stashed and she
I'm
finds
a
it.
cash stash girl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, buying a gift card for yourself, that's a little bit
But
of a
if Maria
scam.
bought it on your credit card.
Well, we joke about that all the time.
Yeah.
We only have one. We have one everything.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
so
man.
Well, I guess,
and we always joke like
Yikes.
there's our money and then there's her money. That's
Right.
been a-
Girl math.
You know, like, but she makes more money than me, so she can buy whatever she wants. You know, so I don't really care.
Shout out to our Madam President, Maria.
She's president of the, she's
We're president of
the company,
Emerge.
President
Absolutely.
Of every damn
Employee
thing.
of the month. President of the month.
So rich math, cash doesn't count. What
Cash
else?
doesn't count.
Or what do you think? All right, we'll go opposite spectrum.
And
What's
the other,
the most absurd?
when you go on vacation.
I knew
Yeah.
he was gonna
So I'm
say
going
that.
I'm going to Vegas
Yeah.
in January, but I already bought those tickets.
So it's gone.
So that money's
It
gone.
was free, right?
That was free.
It's free to get here.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was already I
already
paid for
spent
that
it.
months ago.
That's-
That came out of the
that
checking
already
account
happened.
like back in October or
And put
September.
back, right?
Yeah, it's circled,
There's new
trickled
money-
through.
There's new money that's replaced that.
Right, the
Yeah.
money circle
So,
of
yeah.
life. It was replaced.
And money on vacation's free too.
Yeah, it does, you have to spend. You quite literally can't
You
not
can't,
eat.
Don't be cheap on vacation.
right.
Like
mhm.
I'm
Don't
talking
be
to the
cheap
audience.
on
Don't
vacation.
be cheap when you go on vacation.
Tell them, Rich.
You're on vacation.
You're cheating yourself.
Don't go like I want to save $1 by not going to a nice restaurant. Let's go to
Right.
the nice restaurant.
Yeah.
I'll spend $15 on a bottle of goddamn water. I don't care.
Don't.
You don't. I'd
You're gonna do it at
rather
the airport
like if I
anyways.
was that
Right.
poor and I could go on vacation, I'd be like, you know what? I just won't have the heat on for a month because
It doesn't matter.
I'd rather have that
I'd rather have
experience.
fun.
Like I've gotten like we've have a nice size house. We have
Yeah.
nice stuff, but we always liked having our vacations.
Yeah.
like we always wanted to have experiences.
Yep.
So so to me like having those experiences that's you can't. I think you said it like one of you said it like you can't pay for that.
Nope.
You can't build
You
experiences.
can't. Nope.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way? Like, does rich math apply to Rich as a dad? So, like, can Christian and Zach like borrow your cash and it doesn't count? I'm
a terrible father in terms of spoiling my children.
What do you mean?
I spoil my children like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just because like so I'm the biggest Christmas person in the house.
Oh
Yes,
God.
Santa
Like
Claus.
they still they'd be like I still do not admit the Santa brought them everything.
Absolutely.
My mom still writes from Santa Claus.
I am
Everything.
like because
It's
I
the
still
magic.
I still love the magic of the holidays.
Yeah.
I don't want a gift card for Christmas. I want like
What in the
something.
Aries?
I want like I got some, like my mother to this day always comes up with like really really amazing presents for
Yeah.
me. Like you'll say something. Like my father passed and he had all these CDs and I took a bunch of his CDs.
Yeah.
And I mentioned one day that I didn't have a CD player. And this was like in July.
Oh, so
So-
recent. Like,
So
yeah,
then, like,
right.
That
Right.
Christmas when I went to my mother's for Christmas, she bought me a CD player. Like, and I was like, 'cause she's paying attention. She like to me
yeah.
that's what I. So I'm like
Yeah.
for me like if there are things I know that the boys like, there's things I like that I like to
Stash
buy them when they
away.
were little, and we always like to spoil them because we wanted them to and in vacations too. Like we always try to take them on nice vacations because we wanted
Yeah.
them to have good experiences.
So they're not impressed by somebody's broke ass daughter's little Miami trip.
Not so much. So
I don't blame you.
yeah.
Was our set so annoying to get right or no?
No, not at all. Mean like every week or just planning it?
Just planning, like our set design,
No,
set
absolutely
planning.
not.
No.
that was like one of the more fun experiences
Yeah.
because you came in with a concept that we had to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And the basement's been that experience too, like because we wanted to expand in this basement to have more sets. And I think, deciding like I had something in mind that I had built, which I'm using. I'm using a set that's over here on the other side
Yeah.
of the room for something else. It's not like we don't use it.
Right.
But it was you didn't want it. So you wanted something else that spoke to you. And I'm like, and you were all worried like I was gonna be offended. And, like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
She was talking to me about my
I'm like,
approach, like,
"Bitch,
we're gonna
right,
do this."
Don't let him know.
Yeah.
no, and I think you're right. I mean, if you're gonna pay me,
Right.
like
Gotta get it right.
Then I don't want you to be like, oh, I hate the set. Like that's a terrible relationship to have with someone that's trying to help you build. Like I want like customer service. Like I want to be providing the best customer service that I can. And to me, like that was a fun process. Right. How many times I was here when you weren't, like taking pictures and
texting us.
How about this? How about this? And it worked out pretty good. You know?
I feel like you were very open with helping us and getting everything together. It wasn't like very like small box. Because I mean, when we came in, it's like, you didn't know what you didn't know. You don't know us.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you giving me some concepts.
But after
of what,
we had we had a conversation and stuff like that.
Like visual learning. Like this is kind of, these are things that we like, and then even like taking the song and the Frank Ocean song and doing stuff with that, and I like all that. I like that an awful lot, and I like when I like when it's done. And I see your stuff that you make. Yeah, like your pictures that you take before the show are always great. And then when you make your clips and your reels, I always like watching those because they're fun. I'm like, oh, I was involved with that. Like,
you were there.
And I like and then I read the comments and I like seeing what people say because I was there too. And I'm like, oh, I thought the same thing. So I mean, the set was fun. Like anytime, and we've changed the sets everywhere. Like we keep redecorating them.
Do you like set design? Like, does that bring you joy?
I think I would have I think that if I wouldn't have become a teacher, if I would have realized you can do this in 1985, that you can just move to California and try to make it. Like, I thought like, I never would have thought that was possible when I was a kid. And that's why when I would tell, I'm sure there's probably some parents that are mad at me because I would tell, you should go and move to California. YouTuber. You should go to Vancouver, and you should go here, and you should go to New York, and because I didn't do that. So I'm excited, when I hear about students going to CUSE and going to California for internships. Like, I'm very proud to hear of those guys having those experiences because, like, you knew you had a piece of them, giving them the confidence when they were your students. So I like that stuff a lot, to me, like, that's part of it. So, like, I would have liked being a set designer. So I wish someone would have, like, supported, because maybe my life would have been very different, necessarily better, worse. But, I mean, I think I would have liked working in, like, the film industry and set design.
For sure. Be around video vixens.
Like, I never wanted to be an actor, but I would have loved to have been behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, making
happen. Stuff, like building sets and models for Star Wars and stupid stuff. I've always liked to make stuff.
Yeah.
So,
do you like being more behind the scene, or like, do you like, I know you do your podcast with your boys and, like you do, like, obviously you're on our podcast, but which one do you like more behind or?
I like producing a lot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like you're
your own celebrity, in a comment
Rich.
and some of them once in a while, like, like knowing when to throw a comment in and knowing most episodes, obviously you don't say a damn thing. But once in a while, like it's time to throw a comment in because it's fun.
For me, when you laugh at our jokes, I'm like, at least, like, if nothing else, one person did laugh. Like, if nothing fucking else, like, somebody actually laughed at our shit, and I'm not just, like, fucking,
I wish
like...
I could remember all the funny things. There's a couple I joked, I can't even remember what they all are, but there's times when I'll go home and I'll say to Maria, like, this is funny, you gotta watch this. That's what the TikTok should be made of that. That should be the real. That should be, there's definitely those. And I like, those are some of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Like, I have some really cool things that people have done on their podcasts that I just will remember forever.
Yeah.
And if I was retired, I mean, I guess I could have volunteered at the hospital or something, but I know that's not me. Like,
no.
I needed to do something that was kind of just the next step. And people are like, don't you miss teaching? I'm like, nope. I did it. I'm glad I did it. I think I was pretty good at it, but that is done now. So let it go and go be.
Like, this is the total opposite.
Go be somebody else now.
Learn every single
But
day.
and you're like, I mean, it's still parallel too, though. Like, you are really guiding people towards, like, their dreams or whatever, version of that is, or their hobbies, or just getting some people just through.
I always thought teachers should be more mentors than, like, information providers.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously certain subjects you have to be that, but in what I did, I feel like you have to be more of a mentor, more of a collaborative thing. And now it's definitely like, this is almost like, I mean, I guess you could ask a bunch of kids that were in my program, this is a lot like that, but it's but it's so much better.
It is.
You know, because
We
I
get
don't
to
have
drink here.
Yeah, we can drink here. That's we never drank at the school. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Never drank at the school. Maybe. Well, I never drank at the
Right.
school. There were a lot of kids that had a lot of white clear
wanna keep my
beverages.
career,
They had a lot of clear beverages, and I'm telling you, I think some of those might have been vodka. But and then there was a lot of kids that smelled like something. But
That's me.
no, but it definitely and you don't have anyone. I don't have anyone looking over my shoulder. Like not that my
Yeah.
principals, and my teachers. You
just have a lot
I didn't
more
have too
free
many
reign.
problems. There were some people that were jerks, but who didn't understand what I was trying to accomplish. But
Yeah.
here, there's nobody looking over my shoulder. I don't care. Like
Yeah.
you asked me earlier, what am I worried about? I'm not going to get canceled. You get canceled. You start talking about, you. Whoa, we're gonna probably afterwards. I'm like, you probably should have said that, and that's why, we're gonna cancel. We're not gonna play that.
Yeah.
Again, but I mean, I think most people once they're live, they realize now that they got to be a little bit more careful. But
Yeah. I think I can't be canceled. Like if people just don't like me, I don't really give a fuck. That's just
America.
hot take. Like I
You
don't.
don't like my product? Don't buy it.
Yeah. You don't.
There are 8,000 million other podcasts out there.
Literally millions.
You don't like it? Move on.
Yeah.
And I find that hilarious. I don't know, if you've got anybody that's just like haters. Do you have any haters?
We did the one episode where we talked about, or actually we got trolled a little bit when I talked about how kids should swear.
Oh,
And people were commenting I don't have boundaries, and I think somebody called me stupid. Like, whoop de fucking do. I actually I'm so truly I'm grateful because that's more comments. I'm like fuck yes.
Did
Like
you swear around
engagement.
the house? How old were you when you started swearing around the house?
See, for my family, it's a rite of passage. It's acknowledging someone's maturity and growth. So for all of us, it was different. But I started really swearing in high school, swearing at and with my mom.
Yeah. What about you?
I probably graduated high school, maybe in college when I started swimming with my mom. But
With her, yeah.
With my mom,
Yeah.
not at her ever. We have to have we have definitely a girlfriend relationship.
Yeah.
So we talk just like this. I'm like, hey girl, what's up? So I would swear with my mom, but around my dad, I don't know. I hadn't been 25.
Swearing got pretty prevalent in our house once the boys got to
you
high
gotta
school.
Right.
authentic expression.
Jolly G.
Yeah,
I can't
goodness.
believe that I've got to, I got to do my homework tonight or whatever it was.
Yeah,
oh,
Gary.
shit.
And then it's once one of us started,
It's
we all
fuck
had,
alls, yeah.
God,
Yeah.
No, literally.
Not Maria. Maria only swears when she's really mad.
Which is scary. Those people scare me.
Well,
But I'm used to getting sworn at, so.
my son's friends always would have these conversations about, whose mom's bugs the most, who's bugging. And Maria never won the bugging. She never was the one who bugged
Too
the
cool
most.
for
She
school,
never bugged
Maria.
them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But when she was mad,
Oh, how broke
I
loose.
remember the first time she yelled at Zach, and she's not swearing or anything, but she was yelling at him at the dinner table, and he must have been 7 or 8, and I'm sitting there, and it was her, Zach, me, Christian, and then me.
Yeah.
And Christian and I were looking at each other, and I knew what he was thinking.
Oh shit.
He's not yelling at us.
Right, he's on that island alone. Do not join him.
And then Christian.
That slow back
and
up.
never Zach. In elementary school, they had the thing where they move up and down.
Yeah.
And Zach never ever moved down. Ever. He never did. He's never done. Everybody else is down at the bottom.
Yeah, he
But,
stayed up there.
When Zach got in trouble, then man, you done
Yes,
messed up.
yeah. Shit.
So I remember Christian looking just don't just eat your
Don't
soup.
move.
Yeah, she can smell fear. Don't.
But I mean she's incredible mother and incredible wife, and I love our as the kids have gotten older. They're in their 20s now. We've all grown in our relationships.
Yeah.
Neither one of us ever missed an age.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun when they were babies, and it was fun when they were toddlers, and it
Yeah.
was fun when they were in elementary school, and it was not so much fun when they were in middle school. But once they got to high school, it was fun again. And then now we've always enjoyed the next.
What's next?
Stage.
Yeah.
And now them working and having real jobs and finishing college and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Even that, as much as it's a challenge for everybody, it's fun watching them grow into their into their careers and stuff. So I just like every age.
Right.
I just try to embrace each one.
Right. Same people be people.
Live and let live. Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who want to start a podcast?
come to Emerge.
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, I think like don't spend all this money to buy a bunch of equipment for your basement.
Yeah. Or your
and
fucking
you
closet.
don't know what you're doing. Like, I mean, if
Literally.
you've got a background in broadcasting, great, go for it. But
Right.
if you don't know how to do this,
I
like,
could've
you wouldn't go up and
It
do
would
your
not
own.
be. I would be going
Yeah.
fucking
Would you
insane.
go and redo your roof? I'm gonna go to Home Depot and buy some shingles and
I'd
nails,
set it on
nails,
fire.
and I'm gonna just start. I saw a guy, and I watched a YouTuber do it. Like, no,
That's what came
you
to
would-
mind. I
you
was
would
like, you might
hire a
learn on
guy,
YouTube.
right?
No.
So to me,
Yeah.
like, why not be part of a network? Because I think
100%.
for me, it's a lot of fun when there's like lots of activity in the building.
Yeah.
Like you guys are, they're coming in, you're walking
Yeah.
out. You know, one time I think there was people editing. Like there's like, to me, that's when I merged. I felt like, oh my God, like we're
A creative
getting there.
house.
Booming.
Yeah.
We're like a co-op now.
Yeah.
We're truly that co-op because people are there and we're all helping each other. Like I can call Nick up and
Yeah.
say, hey, can you produce for me?
Right.
So to me, like that's so I would just find if you're not in Western New York, you know, find who produces.
He can
podcasts
edit
in your
remotely.
community.
Don't fuck around. He
I-
can
I
edit
actually-
remotely.
yeah, we actually
He's
are
on road.
producing.
He's doing shit
Right.
in
You can
Chicago.
produce-
Come
you
on.
can produce a podcast remotely as long
But-
as everybody's got
Yeah.
Zoom or something. Google,
Yeah.
I feel
Google Meet.
people all the time. They're like, "Well, can I use your stuff? Can I rent your stuff?" I'm like, "I ain't got no stuff."
Right, yeah. Call Rich.
You better call Emerge.
And we had a couple people that have called me up and they were like, could you know,
And
helping
they're
them
not
consult.
real,
And then
like-
I was like, you know, okay, do you want to spend $8,000? Because
Right,
like the guy in
literally.
Chicago who built his own place, he spent $8,000
Fuck off.
from to really put in everything. Like you don't have to spend $8,000. You can do it with a like a snowball and a webcam, but everybody will know that you did it with a snowball and a
Right.
webcam. And then how do you do guests? And how do you do the guest out of town? And how do you have a nice environment? And and if you don't have a house, like where you have a room that you can dedicate, that's why we have a studio. So I mean, I want 5 more podcasts. I mean, I want to be at the point where I have to turn people away,
Yeah.
or I have to hire like some
More
full-time people
people.
to maybe not full-time, but hire employees
Yeah.
that can do some of the other podcasts.
I mean, if people get turned away, that'll be really fucking cool because it's like we're in this cool ass elite club that you can't come into now. So,
Definitely.
especially even more so. It's like, sorry,
Yeah,
we're
that's-
with
no, for
Emerge.
sure.
We need to get
I
media
say that all the
passes.
time. I literally say all the time. Who's that? Emerge. Hit them up. Thank
Yeah,
you.
go for it.
No, I want to figure that out too. Like, I want to know, like, how do I get a media pass?
We could have went and fucking seen Drake Rich if you
coulda
got us
gone-
media
I mean,
passes.
He's not, he's still around,
He
It's
said
not
it's
like he's
too late.
retiring.
Not too late, yeah.
Too late.
That's the rumor,
I don't know how to
Rich.
do that. We got to figure that out. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't. Like, I was talking. Somebody else asked me about that. Like, how do you get like a media? I don't know. Like, I got to find out. I think you just have to apply for it.
Wow.
Please apply.
Well, right.
I think you just have to apply. What's the worst they can say?
To-do list.
If
Yeah.
you apply, and what can they say to you? No.
They'll say yes to us.
That's it.
We got this, Rich.
But I mean, like,
Right.
seriously, that guy would be doing that.
Yeah. We would have so much. We could go to so much shit. We could all go, like,
Right.
creative co-op, everybody go together.
That'd be
No,
kind of fun.
right.
That would be a fucking vlog.
Yeah.
Be like those corporations that have like bars in their offices and stuff.
Like, we're
Yeah.
fully doing Google
Right.
shit.
Like, right, I was about to say, like, Google.
Google.
They got slides and shit.
They have, like, conversation pits. They have, like, fucking
yeah.
sushi bars. Like,
No, and I think that that's a really cool thing, like that you could, because working sinks in most places.
Very much.
So if you can have a
We're
place where
close.
you can have some, like, and the bosses, and he wants you to collaborate
Yeah.
with other people, or she wants you to work with other people.
Right.
That wants to have an environment that where people want to come. Like, if I was a president of a company, obviously I would never make it, but like if I was, I'd be like, I'd be like disappointed everybody wants to work from home.
yeah.
Like, what can I do to make you want to work here? Now, if it's partying
It's not
or
fucking
something,
pizza parties either.
Like no, yeah,
No,
like, right.
dead
Dress.
ass.
You can wear jeans on Friday. Oh, great. I can wear
jeans.
Can wear like
I'm gonna stay home.
Sweat
like,
sets
no
anyways.
snuggie if I work from home.
Exactly.
I mean, I could never work from home. I would murder somebody. but I mean, I understand why people want to work from home,
Right.
especially if you have if your work environment's like toxic.
Yeah.
Or like that type of stuff. So I mean, I love the fact when people want to come and do stuff here.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Like
Have you ever considered doing, like, Emerge events?
we're going to have a merge event. I got to tell you about it. We're going to have a podcasting appreciation night coming up in November.
How cute. Cute.
So, because I really want everybody to meet everybody.
Yeah.
And then I want it to be like, you can invite your fans in and they can come meet you. And if you have merch,
That
sell
would
your
be
merch,
so cool because then,
and
like,
take
our
photo
people could be
ops.
guests on other podcasts. Like, you never know.
Come in and take photo ops on the
Right.
set. You know, like,
Right.
so I just kind of picked the day. Just actually a couple of days and started making a flyer. So I want to have and I want to like have some prizes for the podcasters, like a little. I want to just say thanks.
Right.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Because I mean, people gave me a chance. You know,
Yeah.
I'm super appreciative to that.
Thanks for not letting us get canceled, too, by the way. Like, you could have just fucking played us and had the corporation that I was
I don't even
allegedly slandering.
I don't know, what are they gonna say? No, there's.
I feel like they're just fucking weirdos, so they just all could have came at
Right.
me
We've never
hard.
been accused of having. We've never been convicted
anything
of
crazy.
anything like that. Like, we're shocked to find out that we've been accused of doing inappropriate
touching
things.
children.
No, that's never happened. You know, like, okay. I mean, you got to have something to be sued.
Yeah.
What do you got? What are they going to take?
Yeah.
Right.
To, you know.
You know.
Our dignity.
Self-respect and peace.
No, I really appreciate you, ladies. I really do. I always I think when I say on Wednesdays when I'm coming over here, I'm going to go tape with the girls.
Yeah,
kinda
we
say.
are your girls,
I'm gonna
Rich.
take
We're
with
the girls. Yeah.
And
We take that to, like, I love being the girls of Emerge. Like, that's like our shit. Like,
I really do. I really appreciate everybody. Like I do. Like
not as much as us.
I try to thank everybody. Like that they're here. They're having a good time. Like
Yeah.
there was a podcast going last night. I was doing one in the basement. I came up. I popped in and just and they were having such a good time. And they laughed and they had their friends with them. And it was just like. And I went home and I felt really good. Like I felt like, all right, wow, this is a weird proof of concept. And we're only a year in. And most people are like, you're doing really, really good. And I was like, man, it took me a year to get to. I should have been able to do that. Because I'm like, I'm not maybe not an overachiever, but I'm like, I gotta take care of this shit. I gotta
You
push
and
the
plans.
Ari right on that
Yeah.
boat.
And now I know that it
we
can
are taking
work.
this shit far.
Yeah. No, and I mean, literally, I open up the doors and I put stuff in place. But at the end of the day, like you have to come in prepared.
Yeah.
And you've never. We had a Move One podcast one time for you guys.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
You haven't missed a week.
No.
And you've said it like I do not want to podcast.
Me today.
But once you're here, aren't you glad you did it?
Every time. I feel like that's why we don't need therapy anymore. We don't need therapy. Brittany and I are not in therapy because
I will say-
Thank you guys so much because we're talking it out.
When
with
I
y'all.
meet podcasters all over the place, and there will be more events besides that event. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want to do some other things too. I want to start having I'd love to have a podcaster convention. We're not just people
Fuck
from
yeah.
Emerge, where we just find a location, we start building, and really let having like how they have
I do have those.
comms
Yeah.
and stuff like that, like having like a
100%.
podcaster comm and where you could sell equipment and like that type of stuff.
But like merch, like there's so
Sell your
much tricks of
merch.
the trades
Yeah,
to like yeah.
I mean, I definitely think that's fun stuff, but I when you talk to podcasters, the one thing that we'll all say is that how much it's very therapeutic.
100%.
No matter what you're talking about,
Yeah.
it's therapeutic. You
Once you
forget
talk
about
that
what's
shit
going
out,
on, and
Done. Yeah.
in the Middle East and at work
Yeah.
and your house, and you're here, and this is your thing. This is your chance to be creative about something that obviously you're very passionate about, and I think it's to me like that I can provide that. And
Yeah.
that people, because I'm not making a lot of money over here. I don't care. Like I'm,
Right.
Especially with us being late on our payments month after
Every
month.
I feel so bad. Like it's like friendly
I
reminder.
literally am like, you have to remind me. Like what? I think one Friday
I'm gonna be like,
I had to
Wednesdays
tell
I'm gonna be outside your car at work.
tapping like
Damn money, bitch.
I'm gonna have a big Italian guy with me, like, yo, we're gonna break
here
your
to
legs.
collect.
Like that stupid Sylvester Stallone stuff
Yeah.
show, whatever. it is.
Where's my
Tulsa.
money?
Where's my money?
My money and I need it now.
$3. $3. So this is great.
Thank you so much for coming on.
No,
Rich.
thank you. I really do mean this. I do
Yes.
really mean thank you because this is fun.
This is fun.
Yeah,
we have fun
appreciate
with
this.
you.
This is probably one of the best decisions we've made this year.
Yeah, without
Maybe
a
last
doubt.
year too. 'cause last
You
year
make
was
great
hard.
decisions on the podcast. I'm well aware that some of you, sometimes I'm like,
We make some iffy ass decisions.
sometimes like the
And we
dad
will be
hat, my
sure
dad
to
hat,
save
and
it
I'm
and
like,
talk about it here. All the dumb fuck shit we do.
I don't know if I agree with that. I'm gonna call your mother. And I'm like, yeah, I know. You and I, we gotta talk to that girl. What is she
Yeah,
thinking?
yeah, get her
She's gonna be
together.
like, Rich, I done tried.
Good fucking luck. Your
Yes,
problem
their
now.
Moms will be like,
I tried.
we tried. We just gave up.
Did
Do
our
what
best.
you can.
They're like, just don't kill yourself. Whatever you do, like, just
Don't jump.
We're
don't,
trying.
yeah, like, just be good.
Another week under the
Another
books.
week. We really appreciate you for
Thank
being
you so
here.
much, Rich. Shout out to Nico.
Yes.
Thanks for
Nico.
producing.
Yes.
His podcast will be in the description. Go check
Yes.
him out. Go fucking spam him. You know, leave some hate comments. Just leave some comments. Who
Any
cares?
comments,
Yeah, just
doesn't
leave
matter.
something. Give him a thumbs up. We will see you guys
Until
next
next week. And this is
in A&B Conversation.